language. That's going to be another role for the operating system. Define the gaming, the power consumption, update software and security, and define security for privacy, some of the rules and policies that you can apply to as well. And one of the nice features that Windows launch is like the Cortana, so the window, the virtual assistant as well. So these days we're using, if you're using Windows, right, we have an Explorer called Bing, a search engine called Bing, and they have AI as well running on top of that, right? Okay. All right. So system software, you can customize it. You can link your smartphone to your computer as well. You can uninstall applications, add accounts, manage network connections, privacy settings, and customize the desktop. So some shortcuts as well for each of the features that you want to kind of highlight. You can customize the hardware. You can have identifications like a touchpad or touchscreen, pointing devices, switch mouse buttons, so adjust sensitivity of the pointing device. You have how to configure the keyboard as well, so you have different languages and adjust the settings for your keyboard, right? So also they have some common elements of Windows, like the center area displays contents. You gotta have always the bar tab at the top displays the name of the application. So all this distribution, how to identify a file and have the name of the file at the top. They will be in a standard configuration, and the operating system is responsible for it. So they when the application runs on Windows, so when Microsoft Word, this is Word, runs on top of Windows, right? It will actually kind of detect that this is Windows and automatically will assume and execute the application based on the rules that you establish in the operating system. So multiple windows can be opened at once and appear side by side or stacked. The active windows, the only currently being used. Windows can be resized and dragged to the new location. So all these operations are focus on operating system. Operating system very, very focused on how to program the window, how to fold the window. Manage resources. I think you actually can remember the task manager. I think we did this exercise in class. So we open task manager and we have the capability to review all these resources. So basically review the consumption of processor, the consumption of the memory, identify a network, and identify the storage. So how it works, the operating system Windows actually kind of developed this feature called Task Manager, and Task Manager will list all the applications that currently is running or running in your computer, and it will actually kind of evaluate how much resources from hardware it will take in for each of these applications. So they will combine and define an average and tell you, okay, I'm using only 6% of your processor, or maybe 40% of your memory. So that's a feature from the operating system. So operating system is responsible for it. So the task manager belongs to Windows. Okay. Other things, it will calculate and review the power settings. So power is one of the main concerns in these days. Even though we don't see it too much because we just kind of use the computer and pretty much don't care about what's going to happen behind the scenes. But power consumption is key these days. Why? Because we have more powerful processor, more powerful resource from hardware. We can have all this hardware, very cool stuff, but it requires power. So we need to be careful, look at the settings, recommendation for power for any computer in order to kind of balance the life of the battery and the consistency of the applications that run on your computer. Again, it will be responsible to power on the computer and also the shut down or sleep options, or look at the percentage of the battery usage. So it will be every time you see how much power do you have or how much battery you have, like a 90%, 80%, the operating system is responsible to do that. So they need to kind of go after and look at to the battery. So utilities, when we talk about utilities, it's basically how to improve and optimize my computer. From the operating system standpoint, so you can run some of the cleanup of all the files. So basically, this is an utility application for Windows, and they will go look at to your hard drive and do some evaluation, or go and find out and review all the files that you have in your computer, and we'll actually kind of evaluate which files you haven't used for a while. So I'll say which file you haven't used for 1 year. So there will be some files stored in your storage, and it will identify, say, look, I found 100 files. Out of these 100 files, I found that 20 files that were created in 2022, and you haven't actually kind of made any renewal or any change to these files. You want to delete it, and when you delete all these 25 that you haven't done anything on it, so will you release a space in your storage? So it will kind of actually delete it automatically, and you're going to release the space storage. So you have storage that is going to be 250 gigabytes, and you have only 10 gigabytes free. So after you do this cleanup, it will probably kind of release about 20% more of your storage capacity. So that's the main kind of feature of this utility. The other utility is how to recycle